I'm no meteorologist, but I'm still going to make a weather forecast for Twitch right now. I'm predicting a 100% chance of cloudy skies and rain, as the collective tears from all of the gooners on Twitch fall and crash upon their desk in unison, because Twitch just broke their hearts. They just announced the apocalypse, the doomsday, or rather, the Coomsday, I suppose. Friday, March 29th. Twitch is adjusting their policy that will now outlaw content that focuses on intimate body parts for a prolonged period of time. It will no longer be allowed. In no uncertain terms, they drew a line in the sand and said, "This is our domain expansion. The absence of booby and butthole." I doubt there's a single soul on this planet that's surprised by this decision from Twitch because of the blossoming trend on the platform where creators were trying to push the envelope of sexual content as far as they possibly could. I mean, for goodness sakes, we had the colonoscopy cam meta, where streamers were setting up a camera aimed directly at their chocolate starfish and put the bare minimum amount of fabric required to hide the hole, but you could still see all of the anal folds and everything. I mean, the asshole was still winking at you through the fabric. And I can't even use the word fabric in good consciousness because it was barely fabric. It was like a sliver of toilet paper that just got stuck there and was hanging on for dear life because it wasn't censoring like anything. But anyway, as you can imagine, this was extremely popular, tons and tons of viewers, and this kind of kicked off this arms race, this like nuclear arms race of Coomer content. So a lot of other creators started to try and find creative ways to deliver sexual content on Twitch. I made a follow-up video where another streamer made a green screen ass stream where she would play a game and her ass was green screened, so the gameplay was only on her butt cheeks. And I'm not gonna lie, some of it was extremely creative, watching a lot of these women scramble to find loopholes to broadcast their poop holes on Twitch. I started to get inspired myself. I was theory crafting ways on how I could get involved, started considering buying a green dick sleeve so I could broadcast my Rainbow Six Siege gameplay on my erect penis. I was in the lab cooking. I was like a mad scientist, Cockenheimer. I was coming up with all kinds of interesting ideas, but ultimately didn't do anything with it. But since that last video I made on this subject, it's only continued to spiral more and more out of control, which has prompted Twitch's response here, which shuts down this entire branch of content. And if you've been paying attention on Twitch, some of the most popular streams over the last 10 or so days have been streams like these. I muted the audio on this clip because of the song playing being a DMCA risk. I like how that's the danger of this clip is the music, not so much the actual sexual content of it, because this is fine by Twitch's standards. Or at least it was prior to their new announcement and policy change. But this is the clear chair meta. So this is a streamer named Novaru. She's now showing off her hot tub, justifying her presence in the hot tubs category because one of Twitch's arbitrary rules is in order to be in a bikini, you need a hot tub nearby, even though you don't have to interact with it. And then she bought a clear chair and set up a camera underneath it so that way you can get the entire kit and caboodle package view here. She's got the triple camera setup here, so you're getting the fucking Dolby Theater experience of ass. It's like the cinematic camera when you drive a car in Grand Theft Auto 4, but the only shots you're getting are ass. This next clip I'm about to show you is from Asian Bunny X, but I can't find the original broadcast or clips. I can only find Wubby's clip when he was going over it on stream, so I'm gonna play you Wubby reacting to it.
This is next level shit! I also admittedly recorded this for longer than I think I needed to. It's about a minute long recording. Could have just been 10 seconds. I don't know. No, I mean, listen. Okay, I'm not sitting here hating on the ladies because I keep saying this, right? If they ain't banned, that's on Twitch, right? If they ain't banned, it's on Twitch. Twitch is saying it's allowed, right? That being said, I'm just going to say this because I just have to. I feel like I'd be not honest with myself if I don't. Come on, bro. I mean, she got the automatic jiggler, bro.
This stream is blasting all of your senses here. It's a full-blown sensory overload. I can only imagine where she's going to be in a year from now once the gamer smell box comes out, which allows you to smell games. She could easily integrate that into her content here, where you can smell her, like her sweat. If she farts, start huffing her fumes through the gamer scent box, like the sky is the limit. The future has never looked brighter. Like, there is so much going on right there. So she's standing on the automatic jiggler, which Wubby points out. So it's got her whole body vibrating and it's got her butt cheeks bouncing around like they're caught in some kind of perpetual earthquake simulation. She's oiled up with an extremely tight bikini on, which looks like some high level armor out of an MMO, and it also functions as a green screen, which she's broadcasting a video, so that way your attention is always on her honkers, and her milkers happen to be jiggling around because she's on like the fucking wave simulator, like it's like she's on a surfboard constantly getting hit with turbulence or something. There's just so much going on. There's also Helldivers 2 gameplay somewhere on the screen there. I already forgot where, because nobody's attention is going to that when everything else is happening there. But yeah, you get the point. There was a bit of a problem on Twitch when it came to how much sexual content was starting to pop off there. So Twitch stepped in and said, okay, enough is enough. Heavens to Betsy, we've got to rein this in and get it under control. So they just made a blanket statement that any kind of content that focuses on intimate parts, that refers to breasts, that refers to butts, that refers to groins, anything that focuses on those areas for a prolonged period of time, which is a little vague, but I imagine it means like a matter of minutes, or if like there's an entire cam dedicated to your ass, it's not allowed. Period. Point blank. That is a bannable offense. Now, as I mentioned, this isn't anything super new. Since the very beginning of Twitch, there's always been this game of cat and mouse with sexual content and what is and is not allowed. And I'm not trying to go all old man on you here. I remember when they first invented Twitch titties. But I do remember back in the early days of Twitch, there was a policy that made it so gameplay had to be on screen in order for it to be allowed on Twitch. They didn't have a just chatting category. So if any creators wanted to do anything sexual, what they would do is they'd put a little RuneScape gameplay in the tiniest little box imaginable and just grind an AFKable skill like woodcutting and make the primary camera cleavage. And then you know how the rest of this story goes. You know how that anime plays out. Eventually just chatting gets introduced, and then eventually the creation of the hot tubs category gets introduced, and now Twitch has been having a lot of issues with sexual content on the platform. They had that policy a couple months back where they just allowed full-blown hentai, which is just drawn porn. They were totally fine with drawn porn for like 24 hours before they were like, whoops-a-daisy. That was a bit much, huh, guys? And now they're starting to get to this point where creators are starting to cross a line where it's getting to the point of like, there's a lot of softcore porn on Twitch now. And I'm very curious to see what kind of creative ways people will find to get around this policy change, because I don't think this is going to get rid of sexual content on Twitch overnight or anything. But I do wonder how they're going to navigate this now. I do think it's always going to be prevalent on Twitch because that content is so popular and there's so many people on Twitch. There's clearly a huge market for people digesting that kind of content with colonoscopy cam and all of that. So I'm just wondering what's next. How are they going to invent another meta post Twitch policy change here? And I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's really about it. See ya.